Patriots! And welcome to the Q Lounge Live. Hi, I'm your host, Shady Groove, joined by my co-host, intheMatrixxx. This is the intheMatrixxx channel on YouTube with 3 X's. It is just after 7 p.m. on the West Coast, 10 p.m. on the East Coast. How is everybody doing out there? We have been on fire this week. You guys have been on fire this week. We can't stop winning. No matter what happens, you just keep on winning, guys. I'm telling you, I know I say it every week, but it is the truth. You guys are the reason that we are here. You guys are the reason that we are winning. And without your voice and your participation and your energy to this movement, wow, look at the energy that we have in this movement. This is not an American movement. This is a worldwide great awakening. It is not just to us, it is to all of you, and what an amazing journey. So without further ado, I would like to bring in my unbelievably great co-host, partner in justice from the Matrixx Groove Hour. Now we're doing 5 nights a week. Matrixx, are you with me 5-5 tonight, my brother?
Wow, I am with you, and we are with you, YouTube and Periscope later when this rebroadcasts. Wow, Shady, what an amazing. We got Q posts on intheMatrixxx.com, intheMatrixx with 3x's.com/Q posts. And it is phenomenal. I actually kind of dig the color. You know, it's black with the Matrix screen. I don't know why I like that, Shady, but wow, Shady, what a week, man. And I'm loving the lounge, man. I'm happy to sit on this couch and just relax and kick back with you all for a little bit.
Well, we are more than happy to have you. I would just like to say real fast, a big shout out to all the great, wonderful mods that you see out there in the chat. They are here to help you, here to help bring sauce, here to answer some questions, and more than anything, here to support this cause and this movement and your president, Mr. Trump, out there. Anyone joining us that is new to Q, thanks for coming around. We really appreciate having you. Don't hesitate to ask questions and don't hesitate to think for yourself. That is exactly what it is that we are attempting to do, is help people learn to think for themselves and to get out of the echo chambers and the boxes of these narratives. But this past week, I want to go into a little bit, Matrixx, about what we have been up to. Not only did you mention that we have a brand new site that hosts the Q post that will get them to you faster than ever, that does not move you away from the information there on the site in real time. But also we got the pleasure, and I mean the unbelievable pleasure yesterday, of being able to host Praying Medic on the Matrixx Groove Hour. And that to me was some type of milestone. I don't know exactly how to describe it, but I do see this unity feeling really bubbling up around all of us, and all the support that came out for the show that we did yesterday. It has been really amazing to read what people say about Matrixx, you and Praying Medic and me and our what do you call it? We had a little bit of a cohesiveness there that I felt really strong and really powerful yesterday. So I would really like to give a shout out to Praying Medic for supporting us and for bringing his voice to our show and sharing with us his experiences with Q. That was really amazing. I don't know, Matrixx, if you'd like to talk to that for a second.
Yeah, it was amazing to have Praying Medic. You know, I've never, really actually met him, despite what everybody's talking about online. But I tell you, that conversation went so amazing, and it was kind of, like I said, I was giddy at and I'm like, I'm a fan of you. I'm your fan. You helped me a lot, in my upcoming in Q, and just amazing and always positive, and I like that about him. And the world is watching, and the world is changing, and there's a big great awakening about to happen and in progress right now, where we go from dark to light. And I think people are starting to feel it. And I want to share it with you guys really quick. Praying Medic retweeted this, and he talked about it a little bit on the show, it was after the show. So he goes, "Hey, I know you're busy. You're a busy guy, but I feel a need to tell you that after catching the Matrixx Groove Hour, I've been following Q since 2017 as a staunch atheist. I spent close to 20 years of my life into Satanism. I never thought anyone could ever make me consider turning to God in my life. LOL. Then I heard your prayer. I felt that prayer, and it shook me off my core. For once in my life, I feel that presence. The Great Awakening is alive and real. Thank you so much. I can feel it now, and not just see it. And Praying Medic said, thank you so much for sharing your story. I'm following you now. Would you mind if I share your testimony, but leave your name out of the post? So that's after watching our show when remember we asked Praying Medic to, give us a prayer. And I guess everybody's going to find their own moment where they actually wake up and what they need to do for themselves, no matter what that is. I'm not saying you have to do anything, but just be, and just realize that this is something bigger than we can ever imagine. And the people, where we go, one we go, all means all. People that are attacking us, people that don't like us, people that, but they might come back. So keep in mind that this is an amazing time. Everybody's getting attacked right now. It's a badge of honor. I'm in it to win it, Shady. And Praying Medic is welcome anytime back on the show. We exchanged our actual phone numbers so we can, if he feels like he has something to come on, he can come on, and ask or whatever. I can ask him. So working on some other people too, Shady. So just stay tuned. This is all about united, not divided. They're saying we're divided, devouring each other and everything. And I just want to tell you this one more thing about Praying Medic. You need to know that he's like being heavily attacked on the Chans too. And they're going to dig and do all their little digging and stuff. But on the Chans, they're actually saying, like, shut it. He's one of ours. And, the Chans are actually starting to step up. And what people don't realize is that, people don't know when they think church ministries and whatnot that can't endorse politicians. That's true for 501c3s, but not for a 508c1a. The 508 church ministries are actually exempt from the Johnson Amendment. So they can dig away and make fun of them and try to discredit the actual messenger of a message that's amazing, the Q message and our president message. And it's all good. We are with him. I'm with you, Praying Medic. I'm with you guys out there in YouTube. And Shady, I'm with you right now. So what a great time, and so honored. He was a fan of mine. Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was really amazing to spend a little bit of time and just get a little more in depth and kind of add our perspectives to what this means to us, because it means so much to everyone out there. And I want to mention real fast, everybody, I see that you're saying that it's buffering. I would recommend maybe dropping down your resolution a little bit or back it up a few seconds. They do this to us every week. We are running 5.5 here, and this is YouTube stuff, so maybe you can mitigate that a little bit like that. Sorry about that. There's not a lot we can do. Also, yep. I wanted to talk about this week Matrix.
Real quick, Greg Campbell says, great work again this week. You guys are representing us amazingly. Where we go, when we go all, and a lot of awesome hashtags. And and hashtag pencil neck is a short ball hitter. Thanks, Greg Campbell,
really
for that.
Is.
I love that. And and I can see Shady's. I can see the stream here. We are definitely totally green. So guys, bear with us. This is YouTube shenanigans.
That's right. And also this week, Matrix, we had the pleasure of joining Ann Vandersteel on the Steel Truth on Monday night. That was a great interview as well. She was so kind, and really appreciate her lending an ear to us to come on and to talk some. We had Jordan Sather with us here on the Q Lounge Live last Friday, and you joined the show on Patriots Soapbox on Wednesday night. On the what was the name of the show there? It's with I-70 and I don't remember the name here. I don't have it in front of me, but lots of stuff that we've been getting to this week, and plus we've been,
Coach Clay.
Yeah. And
sorry, it was I-70 and Coach Clay. I'm sorry, Shady.
Coach Clay. That was it. That's what I was trying to remember. Thank you so much. Now we have a lot of stuff going on, guys. We have a lot of, like Lionel says, a lot of plates spinning out there, and they're up in the air. And Matrix was alluding to it a little bit a second ago, talking about all the Q people are divided and they're eating themselves. This is a presented narrative from people, believe it or not, that were kind of close to us, that are projecting and making things up, and now they're pointing to those people saying that they're divided. But we are all in this fight together, and I'm telling you, all of us are in this fight together. No one is really distracted whatsoever, other than the little bit of trolling that we have going on out there. So the narrative that is being created that the Q movement is somehow distracted or off kilter is absolutely false, everybody. So you can take that to the bank. We know what's really going on, and we know what we're trying to do here. And the agenda is very, very clear, Matrix. It isn't an obscure agenda here, and I would like to go into a few different things with you guys here real quick to kind of maybe bring everybody into a conversation to think about for a few minutes. Like we have to consider where we're really at, and we have to reassess and reconsider and judge by what's going on, where our position is on the board here. And one of the things that was really coming to me this week, and I wanted to go in a little bit more in depth that with you guys, because it's Matrix and I here tonight. I want to bring us back to a moment, and the moment that we don't really remember. And this moment that we don't really remember happened before any of us came here. It happened before you came here. And it happened to almost everyone hearing my voice out there right now. It happened to all of you. And what happened was you made a choice. You made a choice at some point in time to step into a life and to step into a reality and to take up a mission. And what was the mission? Mission was to free this planet from oppressive tyranny. That was the mission. And I believe that in my soul, and I believe it with every ounce of my being, that was my mission personally. And now seeing this Q movement and everything that's happened with all of you guys, and the love and the absolute sheer compassion and coordination and unity that I see from my perspective, what has happened in America with President Trump and with you over the last year. All of this makes me realize that it was the mission, and that we were put here for a reason. And the reason was to bring light. And the reason was to be a truther. And you're in a world right now where interactiveness with the mainstream reality looks down and snubs their nose at a person who refers to themselves as a truther. That is absurd. It is absolutely absurd, guys. Okay? Up is down, think mirror, right is left, back is front. That's the world that we came into. A topsy-turvy world, whereas it didn't make any sense to me when I was young. It didn't make any sense to a lot of other people who I've met in this movement when they were young. It seemed backwards. It seemed inverted. It seemed turned on its head. And then whenever we got further into understanding what was really going on in our country, it even escalated from there. And now to have learned all this stuff that we have learned over the last year and a half through Q, and with the help of our president, you really see the topsy-turviness. You really see the mirror. You really understand the mission now. You understand your importance now. You understand your place in this world now. We are no longer on Misfit Island, Anons. We have crossed the bridge into the mainstream. We are entering this conversation and injecting it into the narrative. And we are in a battle for the narrative. And we are in an information war right now that is currently boiling over into the mainstream conversation. They can't resist. They can't resist writing bad articles. They can't resist coming at you. They can't resist using surreptitious methods to usurp the movement. They can't resist. Up is down. Think mirror. In this mission, on this mission that you embarked on out of your free will, we've lost people. We've lost loved ones. We've lost friends, not just in death, but in life. because of what you think, because of what you do, because of your ability to see hypocrisy and to call it out. Strength, power, all of those things have been diluted in this conversation. The conversation is freedom. And the dilution of that conversation has been detrimental to our republic. And the mission, bring light, is to bring love and is to bring freedom to this world. And at one point in my life, I felt like I may be one of a few. I did. I felt like I might be one of the few people who were here who was in the corner and whose voice wasn't ever heard. But I got up with some courage and I sat down in front of a microphone and I turned it on and I started to speak. And something in me changed. It changed forever. And it didn't just change because of me, it changed because of you. It changed because of your reflection back to me. It gave me more strength and more power and more drive because I could see the reflection in you that was really hard to find in my real world. And I think that I may be touching on something that affects every single person out there, because I know that no matter when you got on this train of learning the truth, you became like a sponge and you couldn't resist. You couldn't resist knowing more, and you couldn't resist digging deeper, and you couldn't resist talking to people no matter how much they shunned you. So, within that context and within that understanding, whenever I thought about what I wanted to speak about tonight, and I thought about what the episode should be called, I wanted it to be called Winning Has a Price. And what I mean when I say winning has a price, this is what I mean. We talk about a lot of disturbing things here, everyone. We try to have fun, and we do have fun, and it is fun, and we're going to have some fun here in a little bit. But what we are dealing with is something so disturbing and so over the top and so monumentally disgusting that speaking about it becomes very tough. And speaking about it without emotion is even tougher. That is a trick to do. So within your lives and within your families and within your circles of friends, I'm going to tell you right now, lots and lots of people are going to be coming back to this conversation. And there's a lot of people out there, and you know this now. But whenever we talk about things like MK Ultra, and we talk about things like brainwashing, and we talk about things like different mechanisms to control what people think and what they do, that is real. That is not conjecture. It is not fantasy. That is real. And those are real human lives that were taken advantage of by a system that thought it could take everything. A system that thought it could turn this world into a burning ember. And it will fail. Because of you. Because of your ability to be a truther. It will fail. But within its failure and within your winning will come a fallout. And that fallout is going to look like this. It is going to be thousands and thousands of people who are lost. And it's going to be thousands and thousands of people who are confused. And I do not mean just in America. I mean worldwide. People hearing me out there are not just in America. You guys are everywhere. I know. I see you coming to our site. I know where you're at. I know we're worldwide. You know we're worldwide. Because it's the Great Awakening. And we're in the middle of the Great Awakening right now. You are slap in the middle of the mission that you came here to fulfill, each and every one of you that hears my voice. And do not doubt yourself. And I'm trying to say this right now to give you strength. I'm saying do not doubt yourself and to use strength, because I have had the experience of working with people who have been abused by this. I have personal experience of working with people whose minds have been tangled into a web that was unbelievable. And so I know the reflection of that. I know the pain that it's out there. I know the hurt that is out there. I know what it means for a person to try to tell their parent what happened to them in the cult. Or try to tell a friend that someone is trying to mind control them, and to have the friend roll his eyes and walk the other way not take it seriously. You're put here to take these people serious. That's why you're here. It hit me like a ton of bricks just the other day. We're put here to take people seriously who have been abused, who have been put through the ringer, who have been ostracized, who have been lied to, who have been deceived, who have been tossed asunder. However you want to reference it, there are thousands out there. And that's not to mention the children. I'm talking about the adults. I'm talking about the people that are mind controlled. And when the mind control breaks, and when their handlers go away, there will be a void in that person, and it will be like a vacuum. And it will need to be filled somehow. And so I am asking you, as my fellow Anons out there, to make sure that you take it into your heart what it is that we're doing here, and the importance of you being here, and the importance of you being on Twitter and typing truth to power, and the importance of you being on Facebook and typing truth to power, and the importance of you making comments out there right now, joining me in the YouTube chat. This is serious business. And it's real. And you really did it. Matrix, you too. You really did it. You really got us to the precipice of a great awakening, to the point at which the 100 monkey theory is long gone. The information is there. Anons have everything. And the people who are running the Q operation and the people who are helping us have all the information. And so anyone who is digging in their heels and who is fighting you because you are a truther, it is a badge of honor, Anons. It is a badge of honor, and I wear it proudly every single day when I wake up. I have never in my life experienced an enthusiasm to do this every day. I've never in my life been so motivated to get up and get started and learn what happened today and dig into it and then be able to express it and have a great partner that we get on the air with and join with you and learn from you, learn from each other, and learn from the two of us, and then learn from all of the other people that are helping us behind the scenes, guys. This is bigger than any of you know. It's bigger than I know. Bigger than any of us. And it is my personal need to share this with you, to empower you and to bring all of us into the world that we're getting ready to be in. You're not going to be in the world of deception much longer. It's going to be a fleeting thought, a memory. The world of deception that they tried to enslave us in is but a fleeting thought now, all working out in this perfect pattern. And it could not and would not have happened if all of us at some point before we walked as a human decided to come here at this time and decided to be here on this wall and went through all the struggles that we went through to learn all the things that we learned, to apply those tools today. Those tools being tools like patience and compassion and truthfulness and love and light with one another. And if that isn't what this is about, maybe, they can say whatever they want. But there is a 0.0 chance that you guys were put here for some other reason. And that, to me, is more important than anything else that we could discuss, because the lives that we can help because of your tools of patience and love and light and compassion It will move so fast once people start coming to this conversation. It's not going to just be the cognitive dissonance of the Democrats. Okay, that's one layer of it. But we are talking about a church that has its tentacles in every society on the planet. And wherever it goes, it causes destruction in the lives of young people. That's the truth. And it proclaims this nature of must be worshipped and thought of as some sort of overlord who has more information than you or is better than you. It isn't. It is far from better than you. You are what it is trying to control. You are the reason that it has its tentacles everywhere. Your DNA dictates you will not become hypnotized. What about that? Are we really there? Yes, we are. We really are there. So the message from all Anons to all Anons out there and from me to you is love. It is love. There is no alternative to love. Everything that you see that you cannot perceive as love is someone or something that is caught in the misunderstanding thereof. And blame them for it not, please. Because there are points in time in your life that I'm sure you can look back to where your judgment was clouded and where your path wasn't exactly lit and where you didn't make the right decision. Not any of us fall outside of that category. Not one of you. None of us came here to walk a perfect path. We came here to make mistakes. Came here to fail. And we came here to fail so we could learn. So then once we've learned, we have the tools that we need when time to apply them comes, which is now. Right now. In this moment. All of you, all of us, as we move through this. So to overstate the importance of that would be tough for me to do with you. And tonight I had to get that off of my chest to you guys. I love you so much. I love being here so much. This guy that is with me as my co-host right here in the Matrix has become like a brother to me. I was a person who was the oldest child. I did not have the experience of having an older brother. But it is very, very cool to have found one who lines up with me in a way where I don't know if many other humans have lined up with me. And I feel like that's lightning in a bottle for the two of us to be able to be a team and to bring this message to the world. That is what we are doing. That is our mission here. And you will not see us deter from that mission, not one iota. And people out there are attacking us, and people out there are mad at us because we are accepting donations for the work that we're doing. I'm fine with that. They can be mad at me. But this is more important than them. And their attacks are fleeting because we cannot bring the message to you, and we cannot be here, and we cannot do this without some sort of resources. That is just math. That's all it is. And I appreciate you guys out there, and I see you guys who have made the donations. Greg, thank you so much. Kiwi, thank you so much. It means more than I can ever tell you. And this is my message, and this is who we are. It is raw, it's real, it is us. And that's what the Q Lounge is. That was my vision for this show. Was that a circle, a place of camaraderie, a place where we come to and we say, we're in this together. And we talk about the truth and we acknowledge our importance, not out of ego, out of love. Stand in your power. Because you believe in yourself, it is not an ego. Arrogantly projecting yourself onto others is ego. Believing in yourself is completely different. And once you learn to think for yourself, and then the next level is you can believe your lying eyes, well, then there you are, right? The perfect specimen, the perfect conduit, the perfect objective thinker. not using emotion to make decisions, not using emotion to discern facts. Power. Q, the president, telling you, power to the people. Where's the power gone? Forgot our power. You guys, we all forgot our power. We're 7 billion people against a couple 100,000. You forgot your power. We are getting our power back. And that is what we have been doing, Matrixx and I both. We have been taking your message out there. And we're going to be doing it again next week. We do our show every weekday at 1 p.m. on the East Coast. And we are having a blast. We appreciate all of the feedback. We appreciate all the participation. And we cannot... I'm going to maybe throw it to you for a second, Matrixx. I'm kind of done with my rant, but I could not have believed the support and the love that we would get. And I am humbled and amazed and also grateful, thankful, and, just really in a spot here that's hard to describe, man.
Yeah, I mean, it is something that it is just math. And, it's something that, Deb, thank you. Mission statement from the heart. Y'all, yeah, JD, that was very well said, by the way. We are trying to make a difference. We are trying to get out there and do stuff. There's a Patreon account right there. iPot has one as well. He's getting hit hard on YouTube. We need to support people that you want to support for whatever reason you want, and you don't have to. That's the beautiful thing about it. But people are getting hit hard. I mean, iPot works very hard at what he does. Shady and I work very hard at what we do. We're trying to give you something to watch and listen to that makes sense, and talk together and learn together. If you want to, if you want to help us with the Patreon, if you want to help us with the other stuff, that's great. Right here on YouTube too. Mama Bear says, I love my country, fellow Patriots. Where we go, one we go all. Thank you, Shady Group and intheMatrixxx. Thank you so much, because without you guys, we wouldn't be on today. We're on Caravan to Midnight with John B. Wells. Next week, we're going to be on with Bill Mitchell. We're going to be on Bill Mitchell, guys. We're going to be on, I'm sure, Red State Radio again. Where were we again today, Shady? I-70 show and Coach Clay. I mean, that was amazing. The attacks that they're saying, I just want to address this really quick. That's not me in the video. I let my daughter listen to it, and she's like, oh my God, Dad, really? These people are sitting there, and she heard all their foul mouth. And it was Prof Q. I don't know if Prof is out there, but she said it the best. Watching their video is dark, and watching our video is light, because we're trying to bring you dark information that we have to understand in order to regain our country back. But, we try to do it in a way where it's respectful and it's real. We don't have a script ever. Not one show have we had a script. It just comes naturally. And Shady, I want to thank you too, because it would be really hard. I think we both can probably do a pretty good job alone, sitting there reading Q posts and doing our thing, and you doing your thing. But together, I think we add a whole new level to the conversation, and we're going to be able to do phone calls here soon and get you guys really involved. Bring another aspect to it. If you want a T-shirt, there's a T-shirt. I just dropped the T-shirt link for you. That helps too. If you want to, just come to the website. We've got the QArmy social network there. Over 4,000 people. I just saw a thing where we're worldwide. We just saw a graphic that our webmaster gave us. 66 countries. Lessa, thank you. Much love to you as well. And we just broke 30,000 followers because Praying Medic put our video, the video that you guys watched the other day, is on Praying Medic's YouTube. And we finally broke 30,000. It's been forever. They're holding us. We're being censored. I'm being censored you're being censored on Twitter. Everybody listening to this voice right now, you're being censored.
Well, the buffering is a form of censoring. They're making the videos buffer so people don't want to watch it. I'm sitting here looking at a full green, signal. I can see my signal. We're pushing it out perfect, and the buffer is a way to mute us. That is what they're doing. We're not going to go away from YouTube because YouTube is attempting to mute us. We're going to stay right here, and we're going to build an audience around them.
Carly, thank you. Love to you. We have to. we have to do. We have to use their platform. We're making alternative arrangements to where we can have it on our website. Look at what we're bringing you guys. We've got live posts on intheMatrixxx.com. You go to intheMatrixxx.com. You've got all of our bookmarks that we use to research Q. You can find other awesome Patriots on the QArmy News Network, QNN. Thank you, Bill. We got Stormy Joe Patriot out here with the wrench. He's got his own YouTube. Get over there and check him out. We've got so many awesome Patriots out here. And I just want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for allowing me to do something that I've wanted to do all my life, which is just tell the truth.
Yeah.
And I want to just, really quick, tell the truth, man.
Right.
And all these attacks right now, it's factless claims. Go back and reread Q Post 3038. I mean, we should read that every now and again. And if Q hasn't taught us one thing about a Democrat smear campaign, and we have to remember, it's not just Democrats. This is people that are going to look like they vote for Donald Trump because they're Republicans. They're the old guard Republicans. We have got neoconservatives still lurking around acting like they're Trump. That's what fake MAGA means, guys.
That's right.
It's Republicans and Democrats. Go ahead, Chief. Yeah, war hawks. I mean, it's neoconservative. That's what it is. It's not what we were talking to John B. Wells today, and my grandparents and his parents and grandparents, they say the same thing. And this is what I thought the Republican Party was. I thought the Republican Party was fiscal responsibility. Well, that's never been done in my lifetime. There's not been one fiscally responsible president. Protect my rights. Whoa, they've taken away 7 of the Bill of Rights just in one fell swoop after 9/11. I'm telling you guys, and it was already written. Problem reaction. Here's the solution. All right, so we need to understand we're being had, and we need to understand that patriots in the movement fighting on Twitter, they're not patriots. Patriots don't attack patriots. If you're voting for Donald J. Trump in 2020, I don't have any issue with you. If you're not, I don't have an issue. But I don't. It's a free world, and this is a capitalistic society. And I think people seem to forget who our president is. But I think people understand what's going on. The importance right now, the biggest thing right now that we have to do is make sure that Donald J. Trump gets elected for 2020.
And
that's it.
That's right. And that's the only thing that is we're worried about. We're going to get him elected. We're going to win back the House. And after this election, it is going to be. It is all you're going to see is like a roadrunner smoke trail. This guy is he's absolutely on fire this week, Matrix. Watching when he's one thing I wanted to throw up here real quick. Our president actually tweeted this, guys. This is your president actually tweeted this.
I grab men and women by the shoulders and say, "You can do this." And they're women, men, young.
How?
It's the way I've always been. It's the way I try to show I care about them and I'm listening.
Like the idea that the president would tweet a meme like that, a GIF like that, is just incredible. Yeah. Because he's talking.
Carpe made that, by the way.
Yes, he did, and it's another thing. He used that to say, "Oh, look, Q people, the president tweeted." People don't understand.
It's awesome.
It is. It's awesome. Exactly. It doesn't matter what you think. It's awesome.
So Carpe Duncan is voting for President Trump. I'm voting for President Trump. Okay. So what's the problem? There is none.
Exactly.
That's the goal. Jack Posobiec voting for President Trump. I'm voting for President Trump. What's the problem?
Why are you so concerned about Q giving us information if we're both voting for the same person and it's motivating people to vote for the president? Why would you
Sebastian Gorka voting for President Trump? I'm voting for President Trump. Why does he have to say that Q is garbage?
Q is a fraud. Problem? Well, the tweet that he made today where he said, think for yourself, and then said Q is a fraud. Like, look at that mockingbird media technique. Here, here's a statement, and then here I am telling you what to think about the statement. That is not thinking for yourself.
press 2020 if you're voting for President Trump in 2020.
Roll them down through there.
Yeah, because I'm going to show you these guys, all these people that hit 2020. Even if you're a troll trolling us right now and you're hitting 2020 right now because you're going to vote for the president, I have not one problem with you. You can drag me through the mud all you want. It's not my voice. You guys are silly. You guys look like idiots.
It's a freedom.
Yeah, it is.
You know, the same thing, you made the point too with the Mockingbird media and talking about his Twitter. Like, you don't want him to have free speech because you want to edit what he says and manipulate what he says. And whenever he speaks right to us, it doesn't leave room for a lot of manipulation. If he backs up what he says, it doesn't leave room for manipulation. And we have...
Yeah, look at that. Look at that meme. Yeah, there they go. And Matthew Smith says, entropy of evil BS elites, power that were. Much love to you guys. Thank you, man. That's right. Thank you for that. I really appreciate that. And you know, we got Q post shady. Okay, so go ahead.
Yes, we do. I was showing them off while you were talking there.
I know. I tell you, I'm like a new kid at Christmas.
Oh my goodness! I don't think I've been that excited since I was 11 years old and waking up for Christmas morning. We have the Q post on the site, and not only that, it is very, very...
I can't wait to do a thread.
Very, very searchable. Q is not posted, by the way, in about a week now, and so we're in a little bit of a waiting period after the last barrage of carpet bombs that we got from Q leading up to the rally, and that rally was really something spectacular. And something I didn't know last week, I wanted to report to you this week, is that Brad Parscale from the president's campaign manager mentioned about the rally in Grand Rapids that 34% of the attendees to that event that you saw with the long lines and were registered Democrats, guys. The Great Awakening is happening. The center of America sees the sham. They watch the Mueller thing come out and completely exonerate your president. And the only media stories that are out there in the mainstream are stories about investigative leaks that came back and said, oh, the president isn't completely clean and we're going to redact the whole report. We have to have it all. We'd have to have it with unredacted and there can't be anything. Whenever this is coming from a person, Jerry Nadler, who, believe it or not, was around during the time of the Clinton impeachment. And there's video of the man standing there saying, well, we can't release the whole Clinton report or Starr report because of sources and methods and none. So this is not about the law. And Americans are tired of it. We want our law to be functional for anybody, and it is not. And you're seeing it clear as day. And anons and conspiracy people have been saying this for 3 decades, loud and clear, with everyone harping on us and calling us truthers and saying, and we're telling you, no, look, this is what's really going on. This is the truth. And no. So what is happening now with Mexico, what is happening now with your president and the border and this conversation where they've been telling you that there's no crisis at the border? Well, there's a crisis at the border. There's been 17,000 people released into America in the last 12 days because of overcrowding in these facilities. The president came out today and he said, we are going to stop it. No more pretend BS asylum claims. This is going to be over. We're discontinuing it. Don't come here. We do have the mainstream media not reporting to you this. Mexico turning people away from its southern border and deporting people attempting to cross Mexico into America. This is unprecedented. This has never happened in modern history. Okay, so here, I wanted to go through and I want to read you your president's message to you, and just these 3 tweets right here. The crazed and dishonest Washington Post again purposely got it wrong. Mexico, for the first time in decades, is meaningfully apprehending illegals at their southern border before the long march up to the U.S. This is great and the way it should be. The big flow will stop. However, if for any reason Mexico stops apprehending and bringing the illegals back to where they came from, the U.S. will be forced to tariff at 25% all cars made in Mexico and shipped over the border to us. If that doesn't work, which it will, I will close the border. This will supersede USMCA. Likewise, I am looking at an economic penalty for the $500 billion in illegal drugs They're shipped and smuggled through Mexico and across our southern border. Over 100,000 Americans die each year. So many families destroyed. And the president made an appearance today at the border where they've announced that there's another 100 miles completed, and they will have another 400 miles in that area completed by December of 2020. The media will not report the accomplishments of this man and the accomplishments of this administration, and that is what we are here to highlight, because he is making accomplishments and he is speaking for us. It is estimated. And let's just think about this logically for a second. How would you surreptitiously invade a country? If you were going to invade a country, how would you do it? Would you do it all at once and send everybody, or would you do it over a period of 30 years? If we break down the math, and I'm not the greatest mathematician, but I'm okay at it. If we have 100 million people in Mexico and 25 million people from Mexico in the US that are kind of side-handedly being taught to not assimilate, to not learn the language, to not participate in our society, to not contribute to the economy in a productive way, okay? All of these people are being taught that, and at the same time being given whatever they want, whatever types of benefits that they ask for, given driver's licenses in different states, given the right to vote in different states. Who is doing this? And Matrix was hitting the nail on the head just a moment ago whenever he talked about that there's no real difference in the neocons and the left, okay? What it is it's the elite structure needing cheap labor. They don't want to pay you. Whenever they say crazy things in the Mockingbird media, they'll say crazy stuff like, oh, these people are here doing jobs Americans won't do. They won't finish that sentence and say, these people are here doing jobs Americans won't do for that price, right? A big difference. If it's the same job and it pays a living wage, I will guarantee you there's Americans that will do that job. I guarantee it. So it's a false narrative so that the elite people can keep cheap labor mowing their yards, cleaning their houses, and doing the stuff. And then on the other hand, telling you that these people are participating in society. Well, yeah, they are. They're helping out the elites. And if something were to happen to that person who hires an illegal person, well, then the person who hires the illegal person is not going to stand up for the human that's been helping them. You're going to throw them right under the bus and try not to get out of trouble. Or try to get out of trouble. That's the society that we're living in, and we have been inundated through our southern border for 3 decades, and it has come to a time where we have got to stop it, and we have to stand up against it. If you watch your news, look at the Mockingbird repetitive. Your diversity is your strength. Is that a think mirror? Your diversity is your strength? Diverse thought absolutely represents strength. But unity is represented by love of country, love of freedom, love of liberty, love of seeing tyranny lose. That's where we all are. And we've been inundated by people from other countries who do not grow up with rights. They do not grow up with rights to own firearms. They do not grow up with rights to speak freely. They do not grow up with rights to read whatever they want to read. They grow up in oppression. And they've come to America. And they don't quite understand freedom here. So you can easily get them to vote on things like gun laws. And you can easily get them to vote on things like lowering the voting age to 16 or eliminating the Electoral College, which they do not understand. But they somehow have the right to vote, but they can't speak English. So for the people that say that the border is not a crisis are wrong. They are lying to you. It is a crisis. Your president is not mincing any words right here. He's telling you straight. And that's what Matrix and I are trying to do, is to tell you straight. So that I wanted to bring to your attention. And then another thing that has been, I was showing you the Joe Biden thing, and that is just absolutely hilarious. The fact that the president will put that up is just phenomenal. And they're talking about the Joe Biden, and there's 7 women that come out. It's every news story. It's just unbelievably ridiculous. Well, that's not the Joe Biden story. This is the Joe Biden story. Joe Biden's 2020 Ukrainian nightmare, a closed probe, is revived. 2 years after leaving office, Joe Biden couldn't resist the temptation last year to brag to an audience of foreign policy specialists about the time as vice president he strong-armed Ukraine into firing its top prosecutor. Stood on a stage and he bragged about it. He didn't mince words. He told you straight up. We told him, I told him I was leaving in 6 hours, and if they don't fire the prosecutor who's investigating the Clinton Foundation, if they don't fire him, then you don't get the billion. And he's putting his sunglasses on. He's all proud to say that, like he's the man. Okay? This is the nightmare because guess what? His son and also John Kerry's son-in-law conveniently ended up on the board of this huge gas company there with no experience or understanding why, and they have systematically been using it to launder money and send weapons in and disrupt a duly elected official in Ukraine. Now, Ukraine has opened cases and are looking in and investigating all of this stuff. This is what Joe Biden's real problem is. I have a feeling that he will not announce a bid for the presidency because this stuff is going to get around his ankles a little quicker than maybe he's quite prepared for. So that's going to talk about the Biden front. Then I want to jump over here to this. Top FBI child trafficking and child prostitution task force chief helped the Chicago PD investigate the Smollett hoax. Did Jussie rat out Hollywood? I don't know if he did or not, but what happened up there is unreal, and I think that there's going to be fireworks in Chi-Town real soon with this DA and the way that they mishandled this. And then today, this guy who created a fake race-oriented hate crime twice and wrote MAGA on things twice and put a noose around his neck is refusing to pay the city back the $130,000 that it cost to investigate all of this shenanigans. So there's going to be civil suits against him, and there's going to be a federal investigation into this case. They are calling. There were protests and supportive protests and opposition protests in Chicago this week regarding this matter, and I think it's interesting that the FBI's top child trafficking and child prostitution task force chief was working right with Chicago PD on this. I like the sound of that. I think that means they were watching this unfold in real time, and we know exactly what 44 and his wife did to get Mr. Smollett's case to go away. So that's something that's in the news. Then here's another thing that
we had a Patriot there. Yeah, we had a Patriot there too.
Oh yeah, good. Thank you.
On Sean Hannity's show,
yes.
We had a somebody here in the lounge there. It's like, oh my gosh. So we're everywhere. we are everywhere.
Yeah, and I think he had a couple more pictures. I noticed. I got home a little late today, but I noticed on Twitter he had sent me a couple more pictures. So he is going to. We got a troll in Chi-Town who's out there putting QMap up on it. Put it in the Matrix on that sign one time, man.
Yeah, in the Matrix, I'd love to see that /Q post, whatever you want, man. And it's all for you guys, and just so many great Patriots out there. It's time to get loud, guys. It's time to start talking a little bit slowly, red pilling your friends and family, but you don't have to go crazy with them. Don't argue with them. Remember, I really think love is patient, love is kind. We'll be there for even the haters, because where we go one, we go all means all.
It does. And that's going to, that conversation is going to come back around at a later date, and it's going to be fun too. But right now, it's a pain.
Well, it does hurt a little bit, but shills are going to shill.
All right, we can take it though.
Massad's going to Massad.
Massad is going to Massad. That's just the way it is. Right. Tavistock is going to Tavistock. They're just not going to stop.
Did you see that Alex Jones clip today, Shady? I don't know if I'm jumping ahead or anything, but I
did not see an Alex Jones clip today, but I did want to talk about this story, so it will probably mesh right in with this. Tell me, what was it?
Yeah, so Alex Jones came on the air, I guess it was today, and basically he said that Q is real, and he's going to eat crow and apologize.
What?
And yeah, so then his guest goes on to say that as a former cop, I think it's okay to go drag the drag queen out of the school into the parking lot. I'm like, wait, what? So QAnon's real. He's going to apologize. He's been right about many things. We're going to eat crow and apologize. And then he have a guest talking about dragging a kid who dresses up as a woman to drag them out into the parking lot.
Are they talking about that 11-year-old model child that they're kind of putting up everywhere? Is that what they're referencing, or something?
Yeah, let me drop you the link,
because I've got the story here of Alex Jones blames conspiracy claims on his psychosis.
Oh my gosh!
I
saw that too.
And he's like,
I saw that too.
He says Alex Jones blamed the various claims he made over the years, including the 2012 Sandy Hook Elementary School massacre was a hoax on psychosis, according to a deposition. So this guy he's trying to plead insanity.
Wow. I dropped that link into the YouTube if you want to just play it real quick. It's actually, you'll see what I mean. It's almost like trying to set us up. Now we know why he's got psychosis, but if you listen to that whole clip, it's kind of, it's like, okay, yeah, he's going to eat crow. He's going to apologize. QAnon was right. And I'm going to eat crow. And Frank, bone broth. No, he didn't say that. But then somebody else came up and talked about something violent. And, this is what we got to be careful of. We're not a violent movement, man. We're about peace and love and doing the right things through our understanding how we can take our power back as we the people.
Right. Exactly right. Actually, I'm not running YouTube up so I can watch it right now, just because I'm trying to stop the buffering as much as possible. So I can't see the chat right now, but that's okay. I think that if you give it to them, I think they can get it and go through it.
Yep. Check it out, guys. It's pretty funny, but after the show, of course.
So there was that about Alex Jones. I wanted to talk about that. And then another story, former NSA contractor admitting stealing secrets in biggest security breach in U.S. history. You hear about this? A former National Security Agency contractor pled guilty Thursday to stealing classified material over or more than 20 years in what may be the largest breach of classified information in the history of U.S. Harold Martin III, 54, worked for several different companies from 93 to 2016 and contracted with government agencies. He was given a security clearance to conduct his work, which allowed him to access top secret information. So there is a conviction or a guilty plea for a huge spy ring that is going on behind the scenes. Here's another interesting story this week. Email addresses of 1 billion people leaked in one of the biggest data breaches ever, and hackers could now have access to your name, date of birth, and even where you live. Email validation firm taken offline with the enormous breach was reported. So this is just to show you how insignificant your data really is. Some of these stories that don't get put out there or talked about or reported or told to you as important seem to be important to me. We're all using these websites. We're all putting in information that connects to emails that we do business with or that we have friends that are connected to, and they're trying to look at every single thing. But something that kind of goes a little bit parallel with this story this week was the Facebook two-way authentication. Did you see that story yesterday, Matrix?
I did not.
Yeah, so Facebook now, it was sometime within the last week, people started getting notifications in Facebook for a two-pronged authentication, whatever they're calling it now, two-way authentication, and they were
factor.
Yeah, they sent out people information that or a notice, like whenever they go to sign into Facebook, that said to authenticate, you need to give us your password to the email you signed up to Facebook with.
Wow.
That's what they said. And so people weren't able to get past the screen without giving up the password to the email that they signed up to Facebook on. And then now Facebook is backing off of that, saying, oh, no, that's not what we meant. But didn't we have a story just a week or so ago where they were accused of having all the Facebook passwords in a text document? So these people are not thinking about your privacy. Recognize that. They're not your friends, guys. So this is really, really huge stuff going on behind the scenes. GOP representative calling for the investigation into Adam Schiff. Jody Heiss on Thursday. This is talking about pencil neck, the one that's not the long ball hitter out there. Still driving the narrative home. Well, now they have sent him a letter of no confidence. And I think that you might see someone get their little security clearance revoked, and that would be interesting if we had the chair of the House Intelligence Committee without a security clearance. Now that would be something spectacular, wouldn't it, guys? How would that translate into all of this? So, talking about this guy right here, I wanted to play you a few seconds if it will play, and it'll probably buffer and not do good. But man, big shout out right here to our great friend iPod. I love this guy. I love his work. I cannot wait to have him on the show sometime, and I really can't wait to one day sit down and have a cup of coffee with this gentleman because I love his work. And I wanted to play a little piece from his, I think it was 2 Quick Burns ago show right here with his little montage about Adam Schiff. So sit back for a second and let's laugh at this for a second because this is really good.
Because you just made some things about all of us that I think we all should get the opportunity to respond to. If you're going to say we respond to, if you're going to say we think, you ought to allow us to speak of what we think.
Who is you?
Special Counsel Mueller's findings are consistent with those of this committee, as well as the public statements of various senators on the Senate Select Committee on Intelligence. Despite these findings, you continue to proclaim to the media that there is significant evidence of collusion.
Sonic boom! Sonic boom! Sonic boom!
The willingness to continue to promote a demonstrably false narrative is alarming. As such, we have no faith in your ability to discharge your duties in a manner consistent with your constitutional responsibility and urge your immediate resignation as chairman of the committee.
I do want to respond in this way.
I love this.
My colleagues may think it's okay. You might think that's okay. My colleagues might think it's okay. You 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 might think it's okay that you might think it's okay. You might think that's okay. You might think it's okay. You might think it's okay that you might think that's okay. I don't. You might think it's okay. You might think that's okay. I don't. You might think it's okay. I don't think that's okay. You might think it's okay that I don't. You might think it's okay that later that day, I don't think that's okay. You might think it's okay. I don't think that's okay. You might think that it's okay that I don't think that's okay. You might think it's okay that you might think that it's okay. You might think it's okay and you might think it's okay. You might say that's all okay. You might say that's just what you need, but I don't think it's okay. And the day we do think that's okay, that later that day is the day we will look back and say that I don't think that's okay. I don't think it's okay. You might think it's okay. I don't think it's okay. I don't think it's okay. You might think it's okay. I don't think it's okay. You might say that's all okay. I don't think that's okay today.
Is that not great?
It's okay. You might think it's okay.
You might think that's okay. You might think that's okay. I don't think that's okay. I really don't think he said much more than that. So there's a little, there's a little
iPod.
What a man! Oh God, I love that guy.
Yeah, real quick, want to just say something about iPod too. I've been really trying to. He's really been down with all the trolls. In fact, he just did a thread about the Patriots and Good Morning Patriots and a message to all the haters. And he's talking about him being a Patriot. And he's showing his Patreon, and you bet he accepts donations. And he's really having a hard time with it. And just go over there, and if you can, just give iPod a quick hello and let him know that you're with him, because he's really, I think, struggling with this troll stuff. And when it dies down, he'll come on the show, but he's really having a hard time, guys. So my thoughts and prayers for iPod, that you can just let it go, ignore it, keep doing what you're doing. and let's do some flashback exercises again.
Let's get some creamy macadocious.
Let's show them that we are united and not divided. Praying Medic came on the show. Jordan Sather came on the show. Tiffany Fitzhenry. We've got so many cool people on the show and more to come. And I want iPod. So keep telling iPod. Go in there and troll them. In the Matrix and Shady want you on their show. So troll. You got your orders, QArmy. But just give him some support.
Yeah,
too,
defend him.
really
That and iPod. If I could, just say to you, don't hesitate to just mute them and block them, man. They're not as strong as their voice. There's a small circle of these guys, and now they've joined forces with the MAGA coalition. They're all now putting out these tapes and saying that they came from Matrix Channel and saying that he's anti-Israel, and even people who worked with us are now putting out tweets that are saying you are a hater and all of this stuff. So it's just, now MAGA coalition are weaponizing that same video, pretending like that is Matrix. It is not.
Nothing else.
Right, and so
they got nothing else.
They don't have anything real. So whenever you can't argue the point, what do? You attack the messenger. So iPod, you are a strong voice, sir, and the reason you're a strong voice is because you can translate funny to us. And Matrix and I have our banter, and we try to be funny, but man, you have a style through your ability to weave graphics and scenes in that make us all just so happy that you're with us here. And please don't be discouraged, man. Just keep up the big fight, because we're winning this thing, brother.
And just so you know, too, Sir Patrick Mack, intheMatrixxx.com is a $1 a month sponsor to him. And just because, we've got to stick together. And, so, go on his Patreon, get on there, do $1 a month. If you can buy him a cup of coffee a month, buy Praying Medic a cup of coffee a month, myself and Shady, if you want. That's what Patreon is. It's like a per month thing. You can do whatever amount you want. Just if you like what you hear and you like this information, we can't do it without you, because we don't get money from the deep state. We don't get money from any advertisers. We don't have an agent that can tell us what to do and what to say, because we will not be stopped. We will not be censored. Except by YouTube and Twitter and Facebook.
They'll try, but we're not going to stop. So
not gonna stop.
Right. We got into this a little bit, and if the mods out there, I'm sorry I'm not with you guys on the chat right now. I've kind of cut some stuff back here, so hopefully it's coming through a little better. I don't know, but this is we talked about this a little bit on the Matrix Groove Hour this week, but I wanted to talk about it with you. I'm going to read this to you and kind of go through it real quick, because this is called the Democracy Integrity Project, and I want you to pay close attention to the names that you're going to hear and the connections that you're going to see, because this is fascinating. Democracy Integrity Project is a multi-million-dollar stealth organization launched in late January 2017, just days after President Donald Trump's inauguration. That provides daily research briefings 5 days a week to recognizable Washington journalists, Mockingbird, 4 a.m. talking points, and congressional staff members to keep the Russia collusion narrative alive. Regardless of evidence, this is set up just to keep the Russian collusion narrative alive. In March of 2019, it was reported that Paul Sperry had exposed TDIP, which is essentially a Trump-Russia 2.0 dossier-tied firm pitching journalists daily news on collusion, spreading lies, fake news to keep the Trump-Russia collusion, false news narrative alive in the mainstream media. Pencil neck. Real Clear investigations revealed that the organization has been running an elaborate media influence operation intent on driving and shaping daily coverage of the Trump-Russia collusion narrative, including the pushing of stories regarding Trump in the national mainstream media, intending to tie the president or his associates to the Kremlin and Vladimir Putin. TDIP then provides the same research to the FBI and congressional investigators, and then informs news reporters that authorities are investigating those items, thus mirroring a strategy federal authorities used to secure FISA warrants that were then used to spy on the Trump presidential campaign, which FISA applications would cite published news reports that were leaked to the news media to gain credibility. Circular reporting. TDIP was founded and is run by former Senate Intelligence Committee SSCI staffer Daniel J. Jones, who is a former FBI investigator. Clinton administration volunteer and was on the staff of the California Democratic Senator Dianne Feinstein. Jones registered TDIP as a 501c4 nonprofit organization and claims its mission is nonpartisan. But Jones and the TDIP hired opposition research firm Fusion GPS and Christopher Steele, author of the Steele dossier, to continue anti-Trump research and fake news leaks to the mainstream media. TDIP has been and continues to be used as a backup plan to impeach President Donald Trump if the Mueller investigation report failed to expose any wrongdoing. TDIP is funded by George Soros, Rob Reiner, Tom Steyer, with further donations from social media outlets, reportedly social media titans, including founders of Facebook, Twitter, Google, are indirectly funding the project through donations funneled through a Silicon Valley Foundation, the nonprofit 501c4 social welfare organization Fund for a Better Future, FBF, donated $2,065,000 to the TDIP in 2017. TDIP Research Daily e-Bulletin recipients include the print media New York Times, Washington Post, BuzzFeed, ProPublica, and McClatchy. Broadcast media outlets that include CNN and MSNBC. I took the time to read that to you. This is something that is so far beyond illegal under every law and statute and campaign finance reality you could possibly cite or point to. This is illegal on a level that is unprecedented. And you have a narrative currently in your mainstream news talking about the president, and we've got to get his tax returns. Okay, right here you have a money laundering scheme for billionaires to put funds into the media and warp the narrative and lie directly, propagandize your information intentionally on purpose, then go on TV and scream and yell like the guy is burning the world, when in fact the world stays unburned day after day. And when I say the world stays unburned, I would like for you to point me to an administration that has went for 2+ years without bombing a foreign country and attempting to usurp or overtake a foreign government. Okay? It hasn't happened in the modern era. It doesn't happen. That is the play of the people as they come in. You got a new person coming in, and you got to create chaos. You got to send people over here to chaos. So if the mods drop that link, I want you guys to share that with your friends who are going to say that you're not telling the truth. Well, let's see. Are Tom Steyer, George Soros, and Rob Reiner telling the truth? And if we interpret our reality the way Anons interpret their reality, well, we understand that Facebook, Twitter, and Google are deep state, created by our dollars. Well, if they're deep state, then what are they doing funding? What? Round and round? All a club? It's just like George Carlin said, guys, it's a really big club, and you ain't in it. And that's where we are. And the dark to light is starting to happen right in front of us right now. And speaking of dark to light, Matrix, I might want to pivot. I'm definitely going in a little past where I thought I would be at this time, but I think I want to pivot into a little bit of current stuff, and I'm not sure if you're ready. Let's see. Are you ready to share maybe, and we'll go to your screen for a minute?
Let me see what I got here. What you want me to talk about?
I want you to talk about the orange for a few minutes, and the president saying oranges, and kind of what we've gotten into a little bit of that for today. Or with
Right. So we got, and I'm going to start back a little bit, but because I noticed something, you got me 5-5 Shady?
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
All right. So flags out. Remember all those posts about flags out? I thought it was very, very amazing. And I'm like, flags out, flags out. And this actually got notable on the chance. And yes, that was an anon that I know very well. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, wow, fiber optic link around the globe, flags out. Okay, so it's a global cloud exchange. It's the globe, flags out, double meaning. Could it be the fiber optic cable around the world? So I was like thinking, and I'm looking at Q posts, and I'm thinking about New Zealand. And I'm looking at this Q post here. Look at that from intheMatrixxx with 3x's.com.
You were just wanting to use the site.
Look at. Yeah, I got to figure something to dig on. So this is post number 77 on Patriots fight and 1336 in the normal, numbering scheme. And if you look at this, it says, selling secrets, selling future access, regain control, selling silence, read below slowly and carefully. 5I. Why do former dignitaries still hold security clearance? US to US equals logged, flagged, and recorded. US in New Zealand, no logs, no flags, no records equals US security clearance authorization 5I view plus doc take. Read above slow and carefully. So I'm like going, okay, wow, that's interesting. And I was actually talking to some folks on Patriots United today. We actually threw our Discord link out. We've got some great new Patriots there. Welcome. And I was looking at Q Post. He threw this up there. This is it looks like a subway system map, but it's an abstract view of what the global submarine fiber optic cable network looks like. And this is all the cables that go all the way across the world and in the oceans and up and around to every country. And if you look where at the bottom, the bottom left, it says New Zealand. And just before New Zealand is obviously Australia.
Bottom right.
But then after to New Zealand, it goes all the way down, to the other islands and whatnot. It goes all the way back it's a backhaul all the way to the US, not many countries after that. So I wonder if that line has been cut maybe by them so they don't have to get the 5I authorization, or did we do it? Or so there's something interesting about that. So I'm looking at Q posts here, and I'm looking at Q post 619. In fact, let's go to, oh, by the way, this is the new QSN shirt. It's a big seller already. We've sold 10 of these guys. So get on the QSN social, support the QSN social network and grab one of those and be loud, be proud, be heard. And sorry about that. I'm just going to try to go to the Q post. Look at it. I got it bookmarked. So I want to look at Q post 619.
You're so organized.
That's good. Well, I wasn't weady, but I'm good. We're going to do this.
You're ready.
We're do it live. We'll do it live.
Stop the hammering.
Right. So which post am I looking for again? Hang on. Is it this one? Maybe I got the thing wrong, but how do you defuse a bomb? Knowledge of which wires and strings to cut. And Q post 520, the map is the key. Okay. And the puppet masters have been removed. All vehicles of delivery removed. Strings, fiber, cut. 7th floor, no more. FBI, SD, and that's Q post 520. And that's that's a big one. 520. And this is a huge post, by the way. And it says after that, read below and read above very carefully, but the map is the key. Plan for 3 years. Corruption, evil, deep within, everywhere. Patience. There's no escape. There are no deals. Treason at the highest levels. Foreign agents within our government. Highest levels. Puppet masters have been removed. All vehicles of delivery removed. String cut. 7th floor, no more. FBI/SD, State Department. We see all. We hear all. The hunt continues. Prison, death, class, Gitmo, red_, Iron Eagle Q. So we're fighting for our country, and I just was kind of putting that around. And then I was talking to Poussaint in there and in Patriots United, and she said, dark to light comes up 68 times. I'm like, wow, dark to light. So are we talking about dark fiber and satellites? Let me just go here real quick because it's dark fiber. Oops, dark fiber. Dark fiber and satellite. Is that what dark to light could be? And this is a dig that I'm just not now doing. But if you look here, they're replacing links with dark fiber, satellite links with dark fiber. But if you go to this Zayo group, and they do advanced low Earth orbit, medium Earth orbit, and geosynchronous orbit satellite technology, and bringing exciting new capabilities and services to more people, enterprises, and government organizations. Shins. From surveillance to weather forecasting and geolocation TV satellites delivering. So they deliver fiber-based bandwidth to head ends and satellites. Okay. So I'm thinking we also saw that they've got the satellites under control on the Q post too. So I haven't done a full thread on this, but I've got a start to it, and this is it. And then we're actually on the John B. Wells show, and we talked to, I believe her name is Casey, and she was like, "Oh, the team here, we're looking at why did POTUS say orange instead of origins?"
I
sounded like
that too.
And I'm like, orange, origins.
He said it like 3 or 4 times. It wasn't just like,
yeah. And so I'm looking at that going, wow. So what if orange is like orange, and not just Orange Marine too, because Orange is also a company that does all of the, they've got 56 million 4G customers. They've got customers all over, 151,000 employees worldwide, 8,000 volunteers for Orange Foundations in 30 countries. They've got an Orange Bank. So they're very big, and they do all of the airports. So all the airports are usually orange. And that's what I knew from when I was back in the day. But it's very interesting. They're beyond AI. They're 14, pounds a share. Looks like they're also possibly like a French company. Anyways, then I'm like, okay, orange. So I saw this graphic here, and they've got undersea cables enough to go around the Earth 10 times. And that's when I'm kind of like starting to piece it together. Is that what our POTUS was talking about was Orange? Because Orange is one of the largest operators of mobile and internet services in Europe and Africa, and a global leader in corporate telecommunications services. And it's just, obviously there's Global Crossing, there's several others, but I haven't dug on it. But I wanted to show you the Orange Marine here. This is a cable ship. And this is the René Descartes, and so obviously very interesting dig that I'm starting. And if anybody wants to check it out and dig on that, I'm thinking that we've got something there with NZ Five Eyes and why Australia could be coming back into the picture, because there's something, I think, with possibly the dark fiber. I mean, this is obviously just a theory. And I think Shady had a pretty cool theory about why as well.
Well, yeah, whenever you guys were, I was kind of going through what you guys were putting up this morning, and I was thinking, I was like, wow, and you were connecting it to dark to light. I thought that was interesting as well. But we know all of the stuff that we've watched with Q talk about the satellites and us taking back control of whatever the satellite structure they have. And I was kind of thinking, wow, could that mean they're planning some sort of cable cut here? They have it choked down to one point. So in theory, by looking at that graph, we could think, oh, well, in one fail swoop, they could take down the worldwide internet. Do we have backup plans coming up, to turn on a broadband that would be a satellite-based broadband? Because if you've been paying attention to people like Elon Musk and others, they've talked about this for years now, that this technology exists. Even I think Zuckerberg talked about it a little bit, to have broadband that's satellite based that is way better than the broadband we're currently using. So it kind of, I was almost connecting it for some reason in my mind to the wall. I don't know why, but maybe it has something to do with an antenna system or a broadband system that is that can supersede the cables. And him saying orange is the way he did the other day was more than misspeaking origins. I'm quite excited about the next Serial Brain decode to see what his take is on the oranges, because I didn't go do my oranges gematria yet, but I have a feeling there's going to be something there too.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Like, and it may or may not be, because orange isn't near New Zealand or Five Eyes, but it's near the UK and France, by the way. So I'm just wondering if it has something to do with Five Eye, if he's talking about dark to light, dark fiber to satellite, but we've also got the satellites under control. We've cut the strings basically, and Patriots are in control. So I'm just trying to this is just because again, remember I've looked at things like trust the plan, trust sessions, trust. Why does Q say trust? Obviously, he's building trust with us. But why does the Q team say trust? And then I'm like, well, and I saw that Twitter. Do you trust Twitter? Do you trust Google? Do you trust Facebook? Heck no, right? So I'm thinking antitrust and then trust, and I found the Q's gavel, and the happy hunting has to do with, antitrust. So what does dark to light have to do with, except for what it really means? Dark to light, going from the dark to evil to the light to the good, right? Good, bad, good.
Right.
So I'm just wondering if there's something more to it, and with how vast this Five Eyes is and how they transfer their data. It's through underseas cable, dark fiber, and probably satellites. So I'm just now getting into the dig. So if you guys have any,
come to the thread.
Come to the thread. Check it out.
Yeah, he was just showing you the thread, and we can he'll get you drop the link in there. So come to the thread, and this is this is how we work through it. We talk about theories, and then things kind of fall into place. Really, really nice on this though. I like this. I really think this has something to do with what's going on, Matrix. I have flags out, and it kind of just lines right up, right? So. So we are bounced back over here for a second, and I wanted to share with you guys, I moved off of it somewhere, this link right here. This was interesting because this is showing you, if you have an iPhone, this is showing you how to get rid of it tracking your location. Interesting little area of the iPhone that I didn't know was there, and with this article navigated to that place and saw my previous locations and time spent in those locations, and gave me a little heads up on how to delete that and turn it off.
How do you do it?
I just dropped the link in there. It's hidden in location services, like down at the bottom, and then you go into another window here. Let's just go through it here. I'll talk you through it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people that have iPhones right here, I'm sure.
Right. So if you go first, head to your settings app, locate the privacy tab, then click location services. And then underneath, you'll find a list of all the apps on your phone with the access. Each one is your location data, but skip all that. Scroll to the bottom of the page, and you'll see System Services.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
There you'll find a full list of what built-in Apple services you have granted access to, and then some of these options need your location, daily use, such as Find My Phone. But at the bottom of the list, there's a tab called Significant Locations, which requires your password to access, and you'll find a comprehensive history of where your iPhone has been. The list, sorted by city, under each, you can find even more specific info, addresses of the places you visited in the city, or how many times you went there, or the specific dates you were there, and how much time you spent. It's a wild amount of data. Before you turn off the feature altogether, don't forget to clear the history that's been kept on your phone. Clear history option is all the way at the bottom of this list. Finally, you can turn off the features list by toggling the off option on the top of the page. Apple may still have access to a huge trove of your data, but at least you can keep it from compiling a detailed list of everywhere you've ever been. So, very good article there, and I took that advice, and I was like, whoa, I was there, and I was there about that long, and I do not like that. So again, I'll drop that article just in case somebody missed it, so you can get it right now, because I want you guys to have this, and more people that don't give them information, the better. So I wanted to not miss that tonight. I definitely wanted to get that over to you guys. And the last there's two more stories. This one, former agents saying the CIA and NSA are censoring them are now suing. This is a Washington Post article. Don't know how much credit I'm going to put into the reporting in this article, but 5 former federal employees have filed a lawsuit against several agencies this past Tuesday, alleging the government review process for publication is an unconstitutional system of censorship. Now that right there is kind of leads you into the whole what do you call it? The AP, the Wire, or the censoring of the Wire, or what stories, what he can't do, That they're kind of coming out against that structure. Like I said, this is a Washington Post article, but interesting nonetheless, knowing that there are former CIA agents. I'm pretty sure that is an oxymoron. These former CIA agents. I don't think those terms actually go together. I don't think there's any such a thing as a former CIA agent. I have yet to be convinced of that. So at this point, I just go along with the idea that once you're on the farm, you are in the farm. Okay. Moving to this is something I'm just going to breeze through real quick. New Middle East alliances are shaking world powers. The new bloc emergency in the greater Middle East with the declared objectives of dominating the entire Arab world. This is important because there's moves being made on the periphery of our economy. Right now, the president is moving the economy. He is moving quick towards a gold-backed currency. We can see these moves being made. This week alone, we had Stephen Moore, who he's attempting to appoint to the Federal Reserve. Well, no one in the deep state thinks Stephen Moore is good. Well, that means he's my guy. And then the other day we have Herman Cain that they're saying that the president is going to nominate to put on the board of the Fed, who we found Twitter or tweets from him talking about how the currency should be backed by gold and his belief that gold should control our currency and the Fed. And then today, and I was having a discussion with my friend about this earlier, try to remember a time in your life when you ever saw a sitting president attack the Federal Reserve. I mean, attack them. He attacked them on Twitter today again, saying that I think the Federal Reserve should lower their rates, and I would lower the rates because they raise the rates so quickly on me, it's stifling the economy. He is talking about truth. He is talking about quantitative easing. He's talking about the head of the beast. And that is exactly our focus. So seeing your president tweeting about the Federal Reserve and then seeing the clowns start to jump and they're telling you that Stephen Moore is no good, and then they start to go about, attacking him on a case that he has where it's a $75,000 dispute that he's had tied up in litigation for 3 or 4 years. So they're pointing at that as some sort of reason that he can't do the job that the president's appointing him for. At this point, whenever my president nominates somebody to a position, I am in a position to trust his nomination. I have seen enough to make me trust that the moves that he is making are for the better good of all of you guys. So we're seeing these alliances. We're seeing things move in the periphery. We're seeing China and Russia both make moves to a gold-backed currency. So maybe, I don't want to say it, but maybe the worldwide system is starting to move off of the debt enslavement system and pivot towards a gold-backed currency. And one of the last stories I want to go over with you guys tonight was this one, and I think Matrix might want to comment on this one. I don't know if you found anything new today. I didn't get to get into a lot of digging with this today, but there's some more. They're attacking the president on his security at Mar-a-Lago, by the way, over this. But a Chinese woman was found with 2 passports and malware arrested at Trump's Mar-a-Lago club this week. Chinese woman with a thumb drive containing malware as well as multiple passports and electronic devices was arrested at Mar-a-Lago club on Saturday after she made her way past security checkpoint, according to federal complaint. Donald Trump was at Trump National in West Palm at the time, but according to the White House press pool, Yijing Zhang appeared in court Monday with charges of unlawfully entering a restricted building or grounds and making false statements to federal agents. So she was caught with 4 cell phones, a laptop, hard drive with malware on it, inside past security in a building she shouldn't be in. And so the president was asked about this, and this is another thing that I like to pay attention to. They asked him about this, and he flipped it off like it was nothing. Oh, I don't think it was anything. So what he's doing is he's not allowing them to make a story out of any of this, even though this is a huge story. I think this is deep state penetration 1.0 if I look at this, but they're saying that it was, they're telling us that it was not a story. But I didn't, like I said, I didn't get to really see if anything new came of this today, but maybe you might have something to add to that, bro.
Yeah, so I caught Dave on the X22 report. He's got a good theory about the Chinese woman at Mar-a-Lago.
Okay.
And I'm going to drop the video here, but I'm just going to explain it real quick. Basically, Dave from X22 says it was a setup, one, to derail the China talks, essentially. and 2, to try to get Trump out of Florida and back in D.C. where they can keep tabs. And notice how the D's immediately tried to get the FBI to verify security at the Trump properties. Why? And I'm going to drop the video. And if you want to listen to the part, it's at I'll copy it real quick. Listen from 21:25 to 24:40. Let me grab that link here real quick for you guys. But I thought that was, I tend to agree with this scenario. Paste right there. That's Dave on the X22 report. Oh, and then let me get the timestamps for you.
Give them the timestamps.
The timestamps. Watch the whole thing. It's always good. But 21:25 to 24:40. So toward the end. All right. So I think that was a deep state setup to derail the talks for China and try to get Trump out to Florida and back into DC where they can, keep tabs on him. So it's something much bigger there. Let's figure it out.
Let's do. And so now I want to fall back here, Matrix. I want to spend a minute and talk about, I'm so excited to have this Q post board up here. This is amazing. I want to throw a big, big thank you to Webmaster Q for all of your work and for getting this oriented. Matrix and I had we had our heart set on getting this set up when we started this journey, but then we got into a social media network that might have distracted us for a minute, but now we got that kind of settled into place. This was fun, and this looks amazing. This is absolutely amazing. Yeah. And just to show you, I want to give you just a quick, a little hint here. Maybe Matrix can fill you in a little bit on it too, but we're going to get we got some search functions here that are really special. So like if I go in here and I say post 397, and then I go post 756, and then post
separated by commas,
978 separated by a comma in each one, and then hit the search function.
What do you get?
I get those posts immediately right there.
Are they all scrambled up?
No, they're in order.
Oh, they are?
And they're not connected to titles.
No?
No. So this is one thing that's really cool about this, guys, is that you can do these searches, and now you can put the number of Q posts you want in the search. It's going to bring them up for you right here in a nice little graph where you can take your snip picture, make one picture, instead of having to go take a picture of each one of them whenever you're trying to share them. So this was just a random 3 that I threw in there. I ended up with all deltas or all stringers here. It was pretty funny.
That's awesome.
But and I think there was a little something else with the search. What was it? Wasn't there another, like with the plus sign or something? What was the other little tricks there?
Well, do like a search for just do search for matrix or something like that.
Right.
And want to show the highlight tool. But stay tuned for single letters searches and kill box searches. Right now, I don't think any aggregator can do it yet. But our Webmaster Q is on the case.
Somebody knows where to look to find out how.
Right. Then we're going to do the date ranges as well. And we had a request from an anon in Patriots United. Basically, what they want to do is it'll run with the. So once we get the dates, it should be able to be done. But they want to. He wants to basically do if you wanted to do a day or a week, like a date delta range search. So if you input the post number or the post date and search the delta range, for example, 1 year plus 2 or 1 year minus 2, for example, you'll get it there. So we're going to do some other crafty, cool things as well. Our Webmaster Q is absolutely stellar. I feel bad if I find a glitch and I have to tell him. And, he's been so amazing, Shady.
He really has. And it's a big shout out to him. And I wanted to kind of wrap things up here with letting him know. And maybe all of you guys out there in the chat, if you would please send a big, big thank you to Webmaster Q. And if you're over on the QSN, don't hesitate to drop him a message and let him know how much you appreciate the work that he's done and the attentiveness that he's been to you guys who have had trouble with registrations and emails and logins. It was a little bumpy there because things weren't communicating right. We were trying to integrate the chat.
And we had to upgrade.
And we had to upgrade because we got inundated. Like people started uploading stuff. And I'm telling you, I'm really loving going to my home feed there. I'm not a person who used Facebook a lot, but I really am enjoying going to my home feed and seeing all the news stories that you guys are posting on Facebook and getting information from there, or on QSN, and getting information from there now instead of other media outlets. It's very clean, and we have 4,000 people there, 4,000 red-pilled anons already there, signed up, working together, functioning as a unit, and bringing the message to the Mockingbird media right under their tweets. And that's what you guys are doing, and we're so extremely proud of that.
And there's 2,000 people there right now. That's amazing, and that's pretty consistent. When Bill Mitchell tweeted it, we jumped up to almost 4,000 people at the same time. And, we're ready for you guys. And, new to Q, Bill Mitchell tweeted out. I mean, this has been a stellar week, guys.
It has been an extraordinary week, and I think that you and I are getting ready to be holding on for dear life, man. This is getting ready to take off at an exceptional rate, I think, and all of you guys have done an exceptional job. And I hope that what I said earlier really translates to you, because I meant every word of it, and I mean it to all of you and for all of you, absolutely, without doubt. And so this is your movement, this is your time, this is your mission here. This is our mission here, and we're accomplishing it, and we're going it together. And there could be no better group that we could be working with to help us bring this conversation and to help us red pill so many other anons out there at the same time. So thank you to you guys, and please get over there to the QSN and Matrix. I got a song I'm going to play here, but if you got something to add, go ahead.
Yeah, just real quick, want to talk about deplorable. Who was it there that said that it was deplorable freedom fighters? Asked Poussaint if we could talk about Assange. Basically, the fake news are trying to tell us that Assange, will be hurt if he's extradited here. He will not be hurt if he's extradited here. And this is what must and will happen. And this is from Joe M. Instead, he will protect him and pass him safely through the legal system. He is our star witness against the deep state. So there's a Reuters article that says UN torture experts urges Ecuador not to expel Assange from embassy. The United Nations torture investigator called on Ecuador Friday not to expel WikiLeaks founder from its London embassy, voicing concerns that he could be extradited to the United States and possibly face mistreatment. So these people are desperate. This gentleman is a hero. And a British friend there said that he was prepared for expulsion from the building and has lived for nearly 7 years. And after the Ecuador president, Lenin Moreno, said that he had repeatedly violated terms of his asylum. So he is a hero, and the
president knows that,
and the president knows that. And this is the truth to power. This is probably why there's no John Barlow today, because he wasn't safe as a whistleblower, and he went into the hands of people he thought was going to be safe, and they, might have helped him along his way, and other people. So right now, what we have to understand is Patriots are in control. We are cleaning our DOJ. We are cleaning our Supreme Court. We've got the Senate. House is next. FISA will bring down the House, and maybe Assange is going to help do some of this stuff. So prayers for Julian Assange to make it home safely, and he will be fine. I'm sure our president and the Q team will make sure of that.
Absolutely, man. And, all of you guys out there, just keep on doing what you're doing. Support this president. Stand behind him. Whatever happens, go to the Q post there on intheMatrixxx, type in JA, and read all the posts regarding Julian Assange and how we know he's connected to Seth Rich, and how we know that we wouldn't have gotten Pizzagate information into the conversation without that. So Julian Assange is a patriot, and let's be, 40,000 feet view. Remember, nothing happens until something has happened, okay? That's just the big deal here. So with that, guys, I want you to sit back, take a minute, and enjoy this video here from Truthification Chronicles. This is really good, and I thought you guys might appreciate that. America, we're on the verge of a miracle. Really, really great piece there. Thank you so much for that, Truthification Chronicles. I can see that
That's awesome.
Isn't that really good? I can see that we're buffering out there. I hope that played okay, but man, that is just so good, and it really just represents so much of who you guys are there and what we've come here to do. And the the solace moments and the excited moments, they're all together. They're all for you. They're all here, and we're creating in real time. So very, very nice there. And also,
gorgeous.
Yeah, one thing I keep seeing people saying this, and I want to address this before we wrap up here real quick. Let's see, who was it here? Some gentleman.
And I got one more thing too after
All
that,
right,
Shady.
sounds good. I just wanted to address this gentleman here who said that where was he? Talking about Jeff Sessions, and you were all upset at Jeff Sessions and saying Jeff Sessions will never be seen any other way than a criminal. Let me tell you something. I want to talk to you personally, and I can't find your name here, but thanks for joining us. Number one, thank you for joining us, and I appreciate your comment. But I'd like to explain something to you.
It's Michael Farrenborn.
Okay.
I believe
the reason that okay.
And it's okay,
right? But what people don't understand, and what the media isn't telling you, and what you got to understand the law here, guys. And what Jeff Sessions did was, when he became the Attorney General, what he found out was that the deep state had an investigation open into him. So he was a target of this investigation that they were claiming was a counterintelligence, Russian collusion investigation. In other words, he was a named person. He had his name there. So you cannot be the Attorney General over a case in which you are named in, guys. The law states you must recuse, everyone. That's what he did. They knew he was the target when he was appointed. They knew he would have to recuse when he went in there. Part of the plan was for him to recuse and for the president to be able to beat on him and to act like in public he wasn't in agreement with him, so no one would notice that the man had opened up an investigation that FISA works both ways in Utah with Huber, and giving the IG Horowitz information and letting them lead the charge on this stuff. So I would disagree with you, sir, and I am here to tell you that Jeff Sessions is not a criminal, but he is a patriot, and Q has instructed us to trust Sessions because he knew that we would eventually learn that Mr. Sessions was the target of this, part of the target of this investigation. So I wanted to address that real quick because I know I haven't ever gone into that too in depth, but I wanted to say that. And then Matrix, floor is yours, my friend.
Yeah, and to just wrap up, just follow your point up is, Donald Trump is great with optics, and he had a fight with Sessions publicly, and we knew, as Anons, knew that was going to happen. There was going to be a public attack on Sessions. So it's okay. You'll learn soon. You can feel the way you want. You have absolutely every right. Nobody's going to, I'm not going to argue with you, but I'm going to tell you to stay tuned. And when I'm right, maybe you can buy me a beer. And that's okay. And we'll have a beer together, and we'll just still have a good time because Trump needs to win 2020, period. And I wanted to just mention one more thing about General Flynn. I think I was Googling General Flynn last night, as I do frequently, because I just do General Flynn and check the news to see what was up. And I saw this Daily Caller article called Cambridge Academic Reflects on Interactions with Spygate Figure. Stephen Halper is accused of staging a textbook black op, which is also in Q posts. Okay. And Carly Bond, who might be here today, I don't know. She's amazing.
Out there, yeah.
And so she may or may not have gotten that from somebody very important in this movement that I consider almost the leader or maybe the general of this movement. So I'm not going to say his name or her name, but she received the same exact article. And literally, I tweeted it literally minutes before she got that tweet from somebody very, very high up, who I can, as in my regards and respect. And in the article, it says Lakova blames Halper for distorting her brief interaction with General Flynn into an international espionage scandal in which she wound up as collateral damage, basically admitting that this stuff is crap, guys. This right here this is the linchpin. And you know what I also want to point out is that
this was up here and I forgot to talk about it. Thanks for bringing this up. Absolutely.
And yes, and Svetlana Lakova is on Twitter underneath this thread saying, "Thank you. I am not brave. They backed me into a corner. They attacked me. They attacked my family, but the tide has turned. God bless all of your family." And that's from Svetlana Lakova, who actually, was used. Okay. And then Barbara Flynn, Redgate, who is General Flynn's sister, said, "Wow, Svetlana, while real Svetlana is not playing their Obama cabal, crooked Hillary special coup game. She is calling them out. No fear. Thank you for your amazing courage. I hope you take all these criminals down. May God bless you and keep you safe. Free General Flynn now at POTUS, #AG bar. So I'm going to, really quick, I'm going to put Carly's tweet in here because it's more special.
I caught a message, I think, from her earlier talking about that maybe she was doxxed today, so I'm not sure what's going on with that.
Yeah, there's a letter there.
Much love, Carly, and we're with you. And if you need a hand or you need anything, do not hesitate to reach out. That is why we're here.
And they're looking for you, Shady. According on that Mega Coalition video, they're still trying to find you, and it's them.
I know that. I know they're trying to find me. I mean, we had 2 or 3 of them trying to lure us out. One of them tried to invite me to Vegas, and then another one tried to go on a thing, and then Ginger McQueen was trying to get me on a phone call a week and a half ago. So they want to know who I am, but what they don't know is it's not going to be much longer, and everyone's going to know who I am because we are winning.
Yeah, and we're happy to be here too. We're humbled as well. I mean, we are happy winning. Don't get me wrong. Let's keep winning, and
maybe I could just suggest to you guys, we do have Mr. Flynn's defense fund link on the intheMatrixxx with 3x's.com. So if you feel the energy or compelled to help out his family, we would really appreciate that, and I know that he would. We know what he sacrificed for you, and we know what he sacrificed for us. And
he actually gave us a Moab the other night, Shady, or somebody gave us a Moab the other night. You don't know who I'm talking about, but we have this group called the QArmy Task Force that Anonymous Info runs. God bless her. She's amazing. We just kind of keep our eyes in it, and Mike Hess is out there big, and there's people that are in it. And somebody came in and dropped an American flag GIF on a room where they are attacking all the trolls. So I'm thinking about maybe, possibly just putting my neck out and showing you guys that, because that basically should shut every troll up as well. And I also want to let you know that somebody else with a C and rhymes with an orticon might have gotten one too in his group. So General Flynn is watching you. We have Cookie that got followed by General Flynn recently. I know there's people waiting to do General Flynn. Just do a nice shout out to General Flynn tomorrow, maybe with a waving American flag gif, and tell him that we're with him. God bless him, and #QArmy at POTUS and at General Flynn as well. And let's see what happens, guys. Let's all do that if we can. So God bless you, General Flynn, and your family. I stand with Flynn.
I stand with Flynn too. And with that, Matrix, the music is going in the background. It looks like it's just about time for us to step out of here for a minute. If you have any final words you'd like to say for these guys before we get out of here, please go ahead.
I've always wanted to hear what my voice sounds like with your awesome music, Shady. I love the tune that you use. And to you guys out there in YouTube, I love you. To you guys out there in where is it? Periscope. Thank you. I love you guys. The Twitter, I love you. The Chan boards, I love you too. The haters, I love you. Where we go, when we go all, Shady Groove. Thank you, brother. I love you. And let's keep going. Keep this stuff going.
Keep up the fight, keep up the energy, keep up the love of country and love of fellow man, love of the individual right to think for themselves, love of freedom. That's what we're talking about here. Everybody tonight, thanks so much for joining us. Wow, what a show. It just felt great. Always feels great to have so many people coming to the conversation and talking about the real world, the real history, the real news. You guys are the news now. Don't forget that. Take it to your family, take it to your friends, give it to them nice and easy. Make the red pills small, but make them potent, okay? You know how to do that. You know how to use your patience, and you know how to explain the corrupt cabal system that is enslaving our planet. Please feel free to come and post in the YouTube comments below. Start the conversation. If someone asks a question, you can answer them. Please don't hesitate. Go ahead and give them an answer. If not, send them towards one of us, and maybe we can. We know you got tons of great mods out there, but we want to spread the notion that there is a clear line between the truth and the lie. And the lie is that they are the global elite. The truth is that you, the freedom-loving, tyranny-hating Americans, the ones that stand for liberty, the ones that believe in freedom, you are the elite. You are the worldwide elite. This is the only country where there's freedom left, Anons, and we are gonna get them. We are the elite now. You guys are the media now. Everybody out there, please give the mods some massive love. These guys are tirelessly working behind the scenes. They don't just bring you the sauce, but they go dig for the sauce. They gather the sauce and we bring it to you here. It's an amazing adventure. Next week, we will be on Bill Mitchell's show. I'm not sure what day, but keep an eye out for that. Also, don't forget the Matrix Groove Hour, 1 p.m. Eastern every weekday. John B. Wells, Caravan to Midnight. I think that's on later tonight. We'll have some links up on QSN about that soon. Please get out there and follow other great Q-related people. Jordan Say, the Praying Medic, Serial Brain 2, iPod, SGT Report, We the People, Insider 1776, Neon Revolt, Joe M, The Storm is Upon Us on Twitter. Oh, what a Twitter account. Lisa May, you too, good job. Dustin Nemos, Blue Eyes, Abby Cook for the music, JT Wild, X22 Report, Anon Decoder, Blessed to Teach, Lionel Media, Soylent Green out there, Stormy Patriot Joe, Jay-Z Knight. Please go follow these people and give them your support. Tell them that you love them. Tell everybody that you love them, guys. And until next time for the Q Lounge Live, this is Shady Groove and intheMatrixxx signing off tonight. Much love, and we will see you Monday, Anons. Later.